Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and this time I'm going to be reviewing an older figure. It's Marvel Legends Black Panther. This one gets used a ton in customizing, so I thought it would be a good idea to give him some credit. It's actually one of the better Marvel Legends figures in my opinion. There's really not a whole lot to complain about, and I picked one of mine that's in the worst condition from the factory so I can point out some problems, but typically he doesn't really have them. So let's go ahead and get started with the height. Stands at just over 6 inches. Just over it, so it's really nice, good scale. This is the same body as Wonder Man and Captain Britain, and are there more? Oh yeah, Sentry. There might be another one. Not coming to mind right now though. So it is a pretty well used base body. I wish they used it a little more actually because I think it's really good. I think it could have worked out really well for the Dakin figure that they made. That's what I use for Dakin. But maybe they don't have the rights anymore. I don't know. Either way, this is one of the better bodies in my opinion. Has a removable cape, so let's take that off so I can do the review a little easier. But it's a nice cape, it's really flexible, and it has texture throughout, so it's really cool. Nice sculpt on it. Hangs basically symmetrical, so it's really cool. It's got these little claws on it, and then the collar too. So nice cape. The figure itself is relatively plain, which is why it's so widely used for customs, but it's really nice. It does have texture throughout, but it's easily overlooked because it just kind of looks like texture for the cloth for the costume. Problems with this guy: sometimes these gold things don't line up quite right because they're just little pieces of soft vinyl that they glued on. As you can see, these don't line up right. I don't think, well, I'm not even going to venture a guess. I'm not sure why those aren't right. Usually there's one of one kind and then one of the other. Like on the front are both long and then the back are both short. But this one just looks like it's messed up in general and the paint's off. So I don't know. But sometimes they don't line up quite right, but usually they do. And then this guy also has, if you're familiar with Black Panther, like purple shading on him a lot. That's to kind of resemble the vibranium power that he uses. And this one, for example, has almost none of the purple on him, except he's got a spot on his knee. And normally it's more like a dry brush. There's a little bit there, but it's like a dry brush that shades on him, which actually looks pretty cool. But sometimes you'll get one that doesn't have a very good job of it. He does have gold claws on his gloves, and then these gold little bracer things on his arms. Those are usually painted fairly well, and they have some nice detail. The claws aren't pointy, but that's fine. Most toys don't come with pointy parts anyway. So it looks pretty cool. The eyes are painted silver. Hopefully you can see that. I think you can. Looks really cool. He's got a really nice shaped head too, with the little ears on there. It's just about perfect for Black Panther in my opinion. He's got a really nice, not hugely hulking body, but he's got nice musculature, really good shape to him. Pretty good figure overall in my opinion. Articulation is one of the better things about the figure as well. He's got the pivot in his head here, and then the rotation on the pivot. He's got the ab crunch. A lot of range of motion in the abs. He's got the shoulder pivot inside, like the neck of Street Fighter figure, so you can bring the arms around the chest a little bit more, or bring them back. He's got the regular ball joint built into that, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist rotation, wrist hinge, and individually articulated fingers at the knuckle. The thumb doesn't have anything. He's got waist rotation, ball jointed hips with a huge range of motion. The way they sculpted it, the hips do look a little bit strange because they stick out so far from underneath the waist, but it does give him a great range of motion. You can get the hips, get the legs basically wherever you want them to make some really nice dynamic posing. Double jointed knees, shin rotation, which most of you probably know I usually glue because I don't think it's realistic. Try moving your foot without moving the rest of your leg side to side. It doesn't really work. Anyway, he's got a ankle rocker built in to the ankle pivot, which has a decent range of motion as well. The ankle rocker helps significantly when you're posing. And then he's got the hinge in the toe. It's usually pretty loose, so you can't use it that much. And he's got really long feet because of these claws. So the sculpt could be a little better on the feet, but that's okay. It's still really nice in my opinion. And of course he is just the flat black, mostly flat, little tiniest bit of satin I guess to him, but he's a really great figure. If you don't have him, I suggest you pick him up. Plus he's part of the Avengers. At one point or another, you know, they rotate people out of that regularly. But he is a good figure and a pretty important character in the universe. So I suggest you go pick him up if you can. Obviously, you won't find him at retail, but you can get him on eBay for a relatively low price, usually about 20 bucks, I think, sometimes even lower if you're lucky. So I suggest you go get him. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for more figure reviews and more custom figures. And in the meantime, keep collecting.